New at 11, a robbery in Danville is under investigation. It happened on Westover Avenue last night. A store employee there told police a man walked in, pointed a gun, and demanded money. That person did get away with cash.
And this is an issue police have been addressing all year, including last month after there were 2 murders in less than 24 hours.
Just give us a zoom in of what it looks like there. And if you could talk to us about what you first saw when you got there versus now.
Dense fog that blanketed a large part of our area and caused a multi-car pileup on Interstate 77.
Reaction to McAuliffe's speech was predictable, with strong praise from Democrats and mixed reviews from Republicans. But both groups left the Capitol tonight saying there are areas where lawmakers and the governor can find common ground. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Melissa Gaona. Welcome to this special coverage of election 2016. Let's go ahead and kick things off with the 5th Congressional District. We are looking at Republican Tom Garrett and Democrat Jane Dittmar. Now, this was a very tight race. Many of us throughout this election saw negative ads between these two, but still tonight, Tom Garrett taking home the win. You can see him with 60% and also Jane Dittmar with 40%. You know, she was one of 160 candidates that Obama endorsed, but still Tom Garrett taking home that win and filling the seat for incumbent Robert Hurt. We did get to talk exclusively with Mike Pence, but before we talked to him, I did get to go out into the event and talk with folks who were not only here to support Mike Pence, but also maybe just to hear what he had to say. Now, when talking to those folks, many of them were surprised. They were expecting thousands of people to show up here at the Salem Civic Center, but really the event was held inside of a small room that only fit about 400 people. Here's some video of what it looked like inside. Now the crowd may have been very small, but one thing was for sure, this crowd was fired up, especially when Mike Pence talked about our veterans and supporting them, or supporting law enforcement. Now, in WDBJ7's exclusive interview with Mike Pence, I did get to ask him what he thought about leading Republicans abandoning Donald Trump's campaign, and here's what he had to say.
I don't think this campaign is going to be defined by politicians and by elected officials. I think this campaign is going to be defined by the American people. And what you saw here in Virginia.
And Mike Pence delivered a strong defense of the Republican running mate Donald Trump during 2 appearances, both at Liberty University and the Salem Civic Center. Now, the Indiana governor said that he reminded folks that Trump had apologized for those comments that he made about women. And many of you know that videos were leaked just a few days ago of Donald Trump making those comments. Joe DeShiel joins me now. Joe, we talk about those comments. It's a lot of what people are talking about right now. I want to read something I just found, Chris, from Pastor Gore. Pastor Gore posted on his Facebook page less than an hour ago. I just want to read to you what he said. He said, since word has traveled quickly, let me address what is going on. He said, I received a call almost an hour ago that there was smoke coming out of our church. I just arrived on the scene, and this is our sanctuary. The entire building is engulfed in flames. Thankfully, the Family Life Center has been spared. I am not trying to solicit attention or sympathy, just asking for prayers. As I drove over, I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit. We will rejoice, we will rise, and we will rebuild. I'll keep you updated as I learn more. Hashtag Pulaski County Strong.
Yeah, and that hashtag has been used many times over the past few years.
It really has. Just devastating to hear that the pastor addressing what has happened. It just gives you chills reading. It gives me chills reading that, knowing that he is there on scene right now. Also, Chris, I believe we have WDBJ7's Eamon O'Mara live now. Eamon, I believe you just spoke to the fire marshal. Is that correct?
A lot of fans, as we've told you before, they are somehow going to jam pack over 150,000 fans here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
It's a neighborhood in northwest Roanoke around the area of Greenland Avenue, Cortland Road, and Lyndhurst Street. Police refer to this specific area as Zone 4. The homes are older, and on the outside, things appear to be fine.
It's a working class neighborhood.
You have a swing hanging outside from a tree, kids playing, and even a bus stop. where kids are getting on and off the bus to walk home. But some neighbors say when the sun goes down, that's when things change.
I need somebody to talk to me about the violence happening, shootings in this area.
As long as people just stay in their own business.
I'm just not comfortable doing that. As a matter of fact, my friend's car was shot up in that shoot up.
Are you just scared?
Yeah, I am.
Other neighbors admit there's some disturbances, but no reason to be scared.
I want to know what's going on.
Well, that's what I would like to know then, because I don't see any violence.
Have you ever heard any gunshots?
Not really, you know.
Now, Mark, not really means maybe.
This man talked to me, but was not comfortable showing his face for safety reasons. He and his wife have 2 twin babies and worry about their safety as well. They were even installing motion detector lights when we pulled in.
I was out of town. My wife was home with the 10-month-olds by herself, and here's gunshots. 4:30 in the morning, I'm getting a phone call because she's freaking out.
Last year, Northwest Roanoke had 25 incidents involving gun violence. This year, Northwest has 18. When it comes to Zone 4, though, Roanoke City Police say violence is up in this area. And less than 2 months ago, a man was shot in this neighborhood, just 1 block from an elementary school. No arrests have been made.
And joining me now is Roanoke City Chief of Police Tim Jones. Chief, thank you so much for agreeing to be here with us today to answer some of our questions. When talking about Zone 4, what is the department doing to address the crime, specifically, Chief, in this area?
Well, we use real-time policing analytics to place our resources where they are needed. Zone 4 has not only district coverage, but it has the coverage of our community response team. So we've increased the number of patrols and manpower in this area.
Okay, and Chief, I understand we have, talking with y'all earlier, we've done things, or you guys have done things like community walks. We've seen the basketball league for youth, the Sherman Lee, homeowners, helpers that help kids with homework, after school programs. Let's talk about police patrolling this area more. You know, I talked to some neighbors there. They actually want to see more police presence in the area. You say that's happening.
It is, and it's mostly at night, and it's obvious for a lot of folks that they won't see those patrol cars pass by. We also use a number of unmarked vehicles, which do not readily stick out in the particular areas, but the intelligence and the enhanced patrols are in the Zone 4 Northwest area to help combat this issue.
What would you say to some of these people who might be afraid of retaliation if they are reporting these things?
Well, I understand their concerns. We want to build strong communities and strong neighborhoods, and when fear is there, what follows that is courage. And we want to encourage our citizens to work with us, even though that may be counterintuitive from what they see and hear, sometimes on TV or through the neighborhood. But folks can call 344-8500 anonymously and share information about car descriptions, individual descriptions, things that may help us further an investigation. These types of cases are methodical and do not always come to closure rapidly. We have to build it little piece by little piece, and we need the community's help to do that.
All right, Roanoke City Chief of Police Tim Jones, thanks for joining us here today. If you'd like to see more on this story, plus an extended interview, you can head over to WDBJ7.com.
Last week, we introduced you to Richard and Martha Musselman. Every year, they plan a trip to Gatlinburg for Christmas. Fires tore through this area just 2 months ago, destroying 2,500 structures and killing 14 people.
God.
Both decided to keep their plans, but they weren't sure what to expect.
There was a lot less traffic this time than in years past because people just don't know whether things are open or what they'll see when they get there.
The couple took video from their phones. Here's a look at State Route 321 coming out of Gatlinburg. Fire damage still very evident. Volunteers were also still there bringing food and supplies to Westgate.
70%, it's the newest place down there, it's really nice, but 70% of their condos and cabins and stuff is gone.
The couple also found several memorials along the road.
Very, very devastating to see the memorials. The one lady, Pam, who lost her life, and there was flowers, balloons there. It was very, very touching.
Gatlinburg is still recovering and probably will be for a long time. The Musselmans, though, plan to return next Christmas.
Gatlinburg will stand tall again.
And the couple says what was most shocking was to see one business open, completely untouched, and then just right behind it, a building completely destroyed. And you know, Chris, a lot of people have been wanting to know how they can help out. Businesses down there that we talk to, that the Musselmans talk to, say the best thing you can do is visit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What on earth would possess anyone to jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Once there was a boy named Jared who grew up to be a soldier.
Jared was Dana Kubasak's only son. He had a desire to serve his country since high school. So, right after graduation from Franklin County High School, Jared joined the Army. A year later, September 11th happened and Jared deployed to Afghanistan. But after his first tour as a mechanic, Jared wanted to change jobs.
He felt he wanted to do more, and he changed his MOS while he was over there and re-enlisted as a cavalry scout.
That put Jared on the front lines for his next tour in Iraq. But he did get to come home right before Thanksgiving that year.
In 2005, on Election Day, he arrived home. We went and picked him up at the Roanoke Airport.
That was November 8th in 2005. Jared also got to celebrate his last birthday. He was 25. Then on Thanksgiving Day, Dana said what would be her last goodbye. Now, let's fast forward 10 years and a ton of grief later.
We all need somebody to lean on.
Dana found Operation Support Our Troops America, and she's on a 3-day journey of healing called Leap of Faith.
This is meant to change your life, to change the way you see your loss and the way you see the rest of your life going forward.
The first day is a therapy session with a small group of people who know what Dana's going through. The second day, the group works with horses. And on the third day,
I'm going to be up there jumping out in the skies and looking around for him, so it's going to be amazing.
If you put your right hand through.
Dana is preparing to jump out of this plane.
You leave it hanging. High five me.
Her jump master is Mike Elliott. He retired after 26 years in the military, and he routinely jumps with former President George H.W. Bush. Elliott is also the founder of All Veteran Group, and on this day, he's jumping for Jared.
They're nervous, and they're thinking about their loved ones, and it's very spiritual. And just to see that transformation when they get back on the ground is absolutely amazing.
Dana's best friend is the one who inspired her to join this program.
We both have lost our only child, and our sons are brothers up there. That's for right. Sure.
And in Dana's words, she's ready to be the closest she's been to her son in 10 years.
There goes Dana. She is in that airplane as we speak. Now, when they get up to 14,000 feet above the ground, she will actually jump. I'm hearing about 120 miles per hour, and the jump will last about 50 seconds.
So, what would possess someone to jump out of a perfectly good plane? Years of pain, heartbreak, the loss of your only baby, years of not celebrating holidays, and 10 long years of suffering not even a mother can put into words.
My last memory of him is him going up the steps to the plane, and he turned around and he looked and he saw us there at the window, both of us there, and we waved and he waved. That's the last time I saw him getting on that plane. I miss him, I love him, and I was up there close in the sky to him, and he saw me, and I waved at him. Home sweet home, visits home, favorite moments. The little boy named Jared who grew up to be a soldier.